Hey, welcome back to my channel. And Alibaba Qwen AI Lab just released Qwen 3. I think they released a couple of days back, but I couldn't able to get time to go through it. But to be honest, it's kind of revolutionized the way the open source. The reason they achieved the state of art um, with different weight of language, right? So they release 8 open weight language model. It has featuring the hybrid thinking with MCP capabilities, right? So which has new agentic capabilities and has top-notch offering benchmarks. So they beat OpenAI, DeepSeek, Grok. Amazing, right? So they comes off with a flagship model with Queen 235 billion model, which perform much larger, higher, and OpenAI the ones. And if you look at their hybrid thinking model, which is gonna gives you a far better answers, and it's running here. And I wanted to cover this one for you. So if you look at the model, all right, so what is there, right? So it's a highest ranking model on the tool calling benchmark. So it's performed better into the GPT 4.5 and it support MCP protocol and it has Queen agent framework for multi-step tool usage, including the function calling and browsing action and code execution. The framework supports Queen 3 models. So they I think like there is a huge gap between the open source and proprietary model, and Quintry close the gap now, right? It's absolutely revolutionizing the way the AI, new generation of the agentic AI gonna comes up, and the top tier coding and reason capabilities outperform live coding benchmark. Only 3,000 coders on Codeforce are better than competitive coding and Queen 3, amazing, right? They have that hybrid reasoning enablement thinking, and they introduce a dynamic switch on and off, right? You can control the model because Gemini has comes up with similar ones, like they allows you to enable the deep thinking depending upon the cost is bit concern for there so that you can on and off depending upon your reason capabilities. So Quinn 3 does the same thing, and massive long context capabilities which 32k token context window. It's massive, and it's perfect for the huge code bases and research people, right? Because we struggle with the huge code bases with a limiting context window, but it's perform um, too good there in coding aspects and true multilingual reachability. That's a game changing, right? So it's trying on 36 trillion token across 199 languages. So you can imagine how good this model is gonna be when you try to interact with the multi lingual capabilities, and the more is a efficient way of like architecting architecture of how those tokens are delivered on the strong reasoning capabilities depending upon memory requirement in a dense model the ones, and it's a fully open source and licensed one. You can start playing with Queen 3. I'm gonna show you right how you're gonna play with it. I already downloaded into the Kaggle notebook, and I'm gonna walk through that as well. Why should I care, right? Hey, Baz, like, why should I care about this? The Qwen 3 has strong and welcome return for open source community. Think that instead of going to the proprietary models and deploying it on their infra, you have liberty to work on the open source LM models where you know like how what kind of a data set has been trained, how they design, and how they're performing. So it's good in terms of like the quantization which they have done, the similar one, the Gima tree, which they have done the quantization in the last couple of weeks, which I cover in my YouTube channel as well. So if you have time, you can go into the gamma tree quantization, which makes you the LLMs runs very less infrastructure. So that's revolutionizing. Same similar thing into the Qwen tree as well. So if you look at the benchmarks, right, it's performed way better, right? There is no competition for Qwen tree. So look at those numbers, right? So it's amazing the state of art it's they received, right? Damn good. And this is a flagship model is far better and the faster response in enabling the thinking mode. And it's ranging between the 600 million to 235 billion parameter, supports 199 languages. Amazing, right? And it's open source. You can open weight and it has MCP capabilities. You can interact with the multi-agenting with step function calling in between and orchestrate with your multi one. But the one thing which I wanted to, I don't call it a disappointment, but one thing I wanted to see that, right? This, the guardrails, the security, how the handshake gonna happen, the ones, if they publish those ones as well, it's pretty good. Like, but anyhow, I'm gonna walk through that as well. But I haven't seen that till now, and it's available into Hugging Face, Kaggle, and Sloth, VLM, Kerberos. So you name it, that the moment they're released, it's been there. So let's see how you can play in a real time of this. So this is official page of the Qwen 3. They have given you the GitHub link, right? So where you can go and start playing with it. And it has its own Hugging Face, the 8 models which they have released. And you have a model scope, right? Where they have been, and we have into Kaggle and the ones. If you look at the performance wise, the benchmarks, it outperforms, it's completing its own model, right? So that's how they are good at this moment. And the deep thinking capabilities is amazing. The language capabilities as well. And they have shown that MCP capabilities. Let me show you that. So if you look at here, the supposed to the complex thing, and it start thinking about the deep thinking. It's calling and it's fetching the number of parameters like the concept and trying to interpret with that and trying to come up with generating that a bar for that, right? So so you name it, right? They have taken a couple of files within the system and start asking about like thinking about the files, what is there into the one. Boom. It's too fast, right? So that's how good the Queen one, the post training one, the base model, stage one, long COT, cold start, and reasoning, the ones, and that they have the thinking mode fusion. So when you say thinking mode, fusion is about like the thinking capabilities between the images and the multimodal thinking capabilities. Because the moment when you give the prompt text and images, it has to understand the similarity between those contexts and then respond you to or do it. And they have those kind of a strong to weak distillation to do that as well. And they're going to show you how the deployment it's going to be there. And they have given this particular one to from a model the rule and wants how many hours in strawberry and how it's going to be responding to that as well. Now, I got like the chance to play with Qwen 3 235 billion parameters. It's absolutely crazy. Let me ask like how many odds in strawberry fruit, right? How many odds in strawberry fruit? So I I wanted to make this question a bit tricky. The reason is right. So it should differentiate strawberry as a fruit, right? And it should calculate and tells me like the strawberry is going to be one fruit and its answer should be three. But I have given the strawberry fruit, right? So it's couldn't able to understand. So still the reasoning models have the ones because if I trick them, they can. If I say how many R's in a strawberry, right? It's gonna gives me the answer three. It's a tricky one, right? But I wanted the LLMs should be by this now they should know, right? Strawberry is a fruit, uh, right? And now it says like the strawberry is gonna be three letter. That's a tricky one. I hope they're gonna be change that. But here you have a temperature, maximum tokens, and the frequency, and you can add it functions as well with the MCP capabilities. It's gonna get, and you have a context length behavior also. You can set it out, and you can put the enabling the ones. So I created a Confluence um, page as well, but let's go to the Kaggle one, and it's available. You can download it from Kaggle as well, and all you need to be type the keyword Queen 3 and you're gonna get it. Let me use this the thinking one. So actually I created a notebook with this and I download um, the Queen 3. I've given this into the role of the user and context, and I ask the enable the deep thinking capabilities and enabling the thinking true by default. It's going to be, and I can set and on and off as well. So if I ask that how many hours in strawberries, right? So it has to give me the answer. Let me try. So the moment it's a hybrid reasoning capabilities. So you have the liberty to on and off that, right? So let me see like how many hours it's gonna be comes it here. I think like it's gonna shows me that two is a number because I've tried a couple of times and it's still coming me. It should be a two. And if you tried Queen 3 before me and just send your comments on me how this is performing in terms of the open source, if you've done any kind of like fine tuning and if you started playing with the Queen 3, post me those details to me and I'm happy to see how this is performing in a real time as well. So if it's here, the problem is like the one it's taking longer time because it's going back and trying to get answer the one. But before that, let me explain the code, what is there in it. So I import from a Kaggle Hub the Qwen 3. I've given a prompt, give me short introduction of large language model. Says like role, user, and content. Set the tokenization. Put the maximum tokenization limit 32. It's maximum one. I kept it, and then I put like tokenization is false, generator prompt is true, and then started like thinking about like think or no think tags. Thinking mode is enabled by default, and I turn off the thinking mode, and then I'm asking him to be do it. So it comes with the answer, right? So how many R's in a strawberry? It's first. It says like R strawberry. The second R from raw. Third is like the ones, and then down the letter they put the position of like the R in that, and this given that tree and how many R's in a blueberry. It's things, and it says it has three. So it shows me like the blueberry contains three ores as well. So it started like understanding the correct the value, right? The positioning into the strawberry and blueberry, right? It's saying three, but the answer should be two in a blueberry. And thank you for watching. If you guys wanted to have this notebook, please ping me. I'm gonna share you. And thanks, guys.